Three, two, one. Hey everybody, this is Victor. I am here with Gabriel. Today we're going to be talking about how he went from beginner to his first 44K potential net profit flip that he has under contract. How are you doing?
Excited. I'm ready.
Yeah,
How are you doing,
I'm
Victor?
excited. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, asking like the same question. How are you doing?
Oh no, you're good. Yeah, I'm excited for you too because I'm excited because you have this deal under contract. This barely happened like less than a week ago, within the last 7 days. And I just want to share your journey, your real estate journey with everyone, and what progress you've made, where you're at now, where you're going to be in the future. It's all exciting stuff. So that in mind, let's start with this. Like, what's your background?
So this is gonna be like an amazing case study, I'm sure about that. And my background is like, I'm first of all an immigrant. So sorry about my accent. Sorry about not pronouncing like the words properly. Sorry about that, like for everyone. I mean, I know you are comfortable, but someone is gonna watch us anyway. So I'm for 6 years, almost 6 years in the United States. I started as a truck driver, worked like for about a year for a company. Then I leased out my truck. Then I bought some more trucks, opened my LLC, of course, my business. So I'm still running this business for 5 years. I'm leasing out some trucks right now. So this is how I make my money. And then back in 2019, back in spring 2019, I started reading The Rich Dad, Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, wow, really? Is it possible like to make money in real estate? I didn't even know. Like I was like 25 years old. Mm-hmm. And being like an immigrant, when you're coming like from a poor country, you don't really have like the right education. You don't know about real estate. You don't know about how to do business. You don't know like about how to handle some stuff around you. And I started learning some more about real estate, how this works. And then by talking to my girlfriend, she got like a notification on Instagram, like an advertising, like mm-hmm. about some real estate investing meetings around the area we live. And she found the Rich Dad, Poor Dad program. And we got enrolled into this program. It mm-hmm. cost like a lot. It was like expensive, about $43,000 for us. And I didn't regret right now, but it was hard for me back then because I didn't have any money and I had to slide my credit cards in order to get into this program. Mm-hmm. And then like we used to live in Washington in Seattle area where it's like very expensive. And in order to start our first flip without any knowledge about creative financing, we had to bring down for a down payment like about $50,000 to $100,000, which was impossible for me at that time. Mm-hmm. I was very disappointed. Like I paid like, as of till right now, I have like over $60,000 in my education. Mm-hmm. And at that point, I was totally disappointed because I was like at negative. I had like a couple $1,000s on my credit cards. And I was disappointed because I cannot start to do any deals around me. And I didn't even check like what wholesaling is, how can I build my portfolio, or how can I get some money in order to start with flips. But this was my main goal, like flips and long-term rentals. So I learned like month after month till I met you, like it was on a forum somewhere on Facebook. Mm-hmm. And you text me like, hey, how are you doing? Like, do you mind like if I'll share some information with you? I'm like, why not? Let's see. And this is how we set up our first meeting through Zoom. Mm-hmm. I was really excited after talking to you because like this was a new opportunity for me, and it was like much less expensive and mm-hmm. much more knowledge and much more support for me. Mm-hmm. So I'm really happy I did it. And I recommend everyone just go ahead and do it, because like if you are a beginner, this is a good way to start, because Victor is doing like pretty much 2 times, 3 times a week. Like he's following up with you and he's checking if you are doing your homework, if you are doing like cold calls, if you are checking for hard money, private money, and all this stuff. So this is how my journey starts. However, I'm still driving over the road, and it was hard for me to find the area I want to work in. Mm-hmm. Like for about 6 months, I lived down in Las Vegas. We have a property here on a conventional loan, but however, here's like it's a small city anyway, Las Vegas, and there's nothing around. and it's a lot of investors who's working like with cash, even not with hard money, and it's very hard to compete.
Mm-hmm.
And then when I talked to Victor, he said like, why you're not thinking about like other states? So I was looking at Ohio and Florida at that moment.
Mm-hmm.
And then because Victor is in Florida, I feel like more confident on his knowledge, like he knows about Florida. I mean, you know,
Yeah.
about Florida a lot. And I decided to move down to Orlando. And now I'm working like for a week with a mortgage officer and real estate agent.
Oh, I think I lost your sound. Oh, hey, Gabriel, I think I lost your sound. I don't hear you. No, I still can't hear you. Wait, trying to mute and unmute.
And
Hey,
I
there we
didn't
go. Okay, great.
press any buttons. So where we stop?
We were talking about Florida. So I mentioned like, hey, you should maybe look and do like virtual deals or remote deals. We started talking about Florida. That's when you cut off.
Okay, I know what happened. My bad. Can you hear me and see me? Okay, cool. So about Florida, I decided to move down to Florida in order to be able to do driving for dollars, to get familiar with the area. This is how I feel comfortable. Someone is doing like real estate on long distance. I want to do like local where I live. Mm-hmm. And this is how I get to the point to find to work on to get a property for myself. So now I'm working with a mortgage officer and a real estate agent to get a property for myself. And also, like last Thursday, I got tagged on Facebook on Victor's inner circle club for investors, like on a post where another student of Victor needed some help like with earnest money, and he promised me like some profit from that. And like I was comfortable, why not? I helped him, and later the same day, like in the evening, I got a call from Steven. Mm-hmm. And he's like, hey, look, I have this deal. I found it, like it's a great deal. This is like the purchase price. This is very high cost. This is the ARV. Mm-hmm. Do you mind like if you'll partner? I'm like, why not? Like even like $10,000 works for me. I mean, if it's it depends. Like it always depends. Sometimes it might be about $10,000. Sometimes it might be like $20,000. And this is how I got into the deal. We decided to do a joint venture because Steven have a deal under the contract, but he needs some help like regarding some to find like the money. And I was the guy who was fine to do the down payment, who have a good credit score to bring the hard money lender into this deal. So I'm fine, especially because I need some boots on the ground, and Steven like is a great guy and he's gonna manage the whole process. I'm like, wow, this is amazing. This is pretty much free money for me. Why should I not partner?
Exactly.
No, so yeah, it's amazing. And we had like we have to close by May 10. It's like less than 2 weeks. And I start working with some hard money guys, and they said, hey, look, because it's tight on time, we cannot promise you to close this deal on time, and we cannot help you. So this was like a little bit of mind blowing. It's like a little bit hard and tough to figure out what should I do, but luckily we have Victor, and we got like some more hard money lenders in a row, and we got some codes. And then I found another hard money lender out of Washington when I met him at a local area over there. So I got in touch, and they said yes, they can handle the deal. They can do like 7 to 10 business days closing. It's like 9.25 interest rate, and it's 2.5 points for closing, which is not the best case. But because we're in a rush and we don't really have time to play around, and we decided like to go with this lender. I'm still waiting for a code from 2 more guys. So tomorrow is Monday. Tomorrow we are gonna receive some more codes, and tomorrow is the final day to decide with each one we have to go. Yeah. So here we are. If you want, we can share the numbers. We can talk about the profits.
Yeah, no, for sure. So you're spot on. So I'm confident you guys will get the money. I mean, we were talking before this, like they're one of the hard money lenders. I mean, I'm confident they'll be able to close. You guys will get a good deal. Yes, it's not the best terms, but still getting your first deal is super valuable, and you can do more and more deals once you're successful with this one. So I like it. And then just to clarify, just like you said, so you guys partner on this deal. You're both my students. Steven brought the deal. You brought like the credit and the money. You guys are splitting the profits, and it's currently under contract, going to be closing here pretty soon.
Yep.
So just to make sure everyone's on the right page. But
Exactly.
let's talk, if you're comfortable with it. Happy to talk numbers. Like, what are you guys going to buy it for? What are you putting into it? What do you think you can sell it for? And what is your potential profit? If you're comfortable sharing numbers, let's get into it.
Yeah, why not? So Steven's the guy who brought the deal, as you said, and I'm thankful he got in touch with me. And he got it under the contract for $112,000 with $2,000 as earnest money, which is the deposit in this case. And we have like the GC walking around, and they confirm the amount for repairs, which is like $58,000. So we have all in at 170, and the ARV is like the lowest. I think is gonna be like to $45,000, but we are aiming for 250. And who knows, maybe it go even up or down the road because the market is like really high. It's very hard to buy a property right now as an investor, but it's really easy to sell it. So who knows, maybe you'll get like even more profits. So after the closing costs, after hard money, after all this holding costs and selling costs, like the agent, the buyer agent, the seller's agent, we expect somewhere between 40 and 50 grand. Depends on how soon we'll be able to get it done. Like we have an expectation of 4 months to get the rehab done. And then let's say with the current market, I don't think so. I don't think it will stay on the market more than 30 days. I mean, plus 30 days for closing. So we might be able to get it from the beginning to the end in about 6, maybe to 7 months, and hopefully not longer. So this is like a huge profit for both of us, especially for me, by doing some phone calls and by having like the good amount of money in my pocket at the right time, and having like a great credit score and some hard money lenders already in place. So this is where we are right now.
Yeah, no, exciting stuff. Because I know you've been thinking about the real estate for some time. Like you mentioned, the Rich Dad Poor Dad book. How long have you been? I don't think I asked. Like, how long have you been thinking about getting into real estate, and now you really have your first flip here?
So from reading the book till I got into the first program, it was like 5 months, and then from learning how real estate works into order to get the first flip under a contract. I mean, even on a joint venture contract. However, we now have something to do, like a flip finally. And it took me like pretty much a year and a half from the beginning. But it took like 2 months, I guess, from the day I met you, and we start doing like not only baby steps, but bigger steps now into order to get the right knowledge and into order to action, because action is the key. Like you don't need to be scared to make phone calls. If I am doing as an immigrant, you can do it as well.
I like that. Yeah, exactly. And a lot of people get nervous on the phone, and you weren't nervous, and you're not nervous, or maybe you are, I don't know, but you're still out there making the phone calls, and that's what's made the difference. That's huge. Super exciting stuff. Well, I'm excited for you as well. I think about 2 months you've been in the program, so this is great.
Yes.
Great. Really quick, good progress really quickly. So
it was much.
Go ahead. Were you going to say something?
Yeah, it was much faster from the day I met you till the first flip. Then from the day I paid like a ton of money to another company who have like a ton of students, and they don't really can pay attention to each student and follow up with them. How can I help you? Like every week you're asking like me, and every of your students, like any of your students, you're asking like, how can I help you? What's the current update? What you are working on? Like, did you get any deals? Did you make any phone calls? And when you're doing like these Zoom meetings, like twice a week, and when you see like some other students making progress, you are getting more motivated, and you're like, why I'm not doing, like, why I'm not at this point, what I'm doing wrong. And you know what I'm doing wrong. You're not making like calls, you're not driving for dollars, you're not making posts on Facebook, you're not getting in touch with other investors. This is the point.
No, I love it. I mean, you're out there taking action, and we're seeing the results of that. So that's beautiful. That
Exactly.
in mind, would you recommend others work with me as well?
Definitely. Definitely, of course. I'm really happy.
No, I appreciate the kind words. I also like the feedback, because that's why, partially I do these case studies for new students, but also existing students, because like, oh, he did a deal and he's in Georgia. He did a deal, he's in North Carolina. You see all those people and you're like, oh, shoot, I got to do this too.
Exactly. You're getting like a ton of motivation by watching these case studies, getting a ton of motivation by talking to you. So I definitely recommend to anyone to work with you. Like, at least you can do a flip and you get like more than what you are paying for this program, and like a couple times more. So it's definitely worth it.
Awesome. So with that thread in mind, like, why should someone listening take action now?
Why?
Why?
Good question. It all depends on everyone's goals. Like, I have big goals. I want like a very beautiful property to have, a very beautiful house. I mean, a good car. I want to have like freedom, financial freedom to go wherever I want, whenever I want. And in order to do that, you have to escape from the 9-to-5 job. So sooner you are starting making these calls, sooner you are starting this program with you, sooner you are making these Facebook posts, sooner you are getting into real estate investors, local associations like the RIA clubs, sooner you are gonna get like start build your wealth status. So it's all about you. Like, every day matters. Do like at least start with 1 call a day. Start with making an offer. Start with running the numbers at least. Like, even on Zillow properties, run the numbers. You never know when a property is undervalued. You can get it under the contract. Who knows? Always run the numbers.
Exactly. It's all about the numbers. That's what I like. I'm glad that
numbers talks.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Spot on. Okay. Well, again, I very much appreciate you doing this, Gabriel. This has been awesome. It's really cool to see your journey, like see your progression. And, I know it's been 2 months, so I'm curious where it'll be in 6 months and a year. We just got to keep this up. And I think you'll even surprise yourself, in terms of progress you've made, in that time frame. As we wrap up here, like, any final thoughts, any final questions, any final insights, excuse me, that you want to share with everyone?
Keep a good credit score. Don't spend more than 10%. Never miss a payment. Start talking to people about like how to get deals. Start talking to Victor. Get into his inner circle, and that's it. Like, you'll get a lot of support from this point.
Perfect. I think that's a great place to end it. Again, appreciate it. Thank you so much. And yeah, can't wait to do, if you're open to another one of these in the future, once you guys do the deal, and maybe it's not 40, 50K, it's, it's 60K, maybe the market's gone up since then. So who knows?
We definitely will do some more case studies, I'm sure, because I know my goals are high, and I know I'm going to get into real estate investing like a full-time investor. And I hope one day I'll become like an accredited investor. And we have a lot of knowledge to share, I'm sure.
Awesome. Perfect. Well, appreciate it, Gabriel. Thanks so much.
Thank you for your time, Evan.